Hey, what's going on, guys? Zach here. Today we're going to be talking about some of the best ways you can find motivated sellers for your real estate wholesaling business. Now, I'm going to be going over two ways. So the first way is going to be the free way, absolutely free. You don't have to put a penny in your business. And the second way is going to be the paid way, where you have to invest a little bit monthly into your business to where you can get motivated sellers, higher quality. But all in all, I'm going to be going over these two ways to actually get motivated sellers who are interested in selling their home at a discount. All right, first, so the freeway, the number one freeway I would recommend just starting out would be driving for dollars, right? Now, what is driving for dollars, right? Driving for dollars is when you yourself hop into your car. You can either do this walking, jogging, riding a scooter, riding a bike, anything, right? You're just going around your neighborhood, your backyard market, and you're just finding distressed properties, right? Properties that look like they have been just run over, run down. The lawn is messed up. It might have a little boarded up windows, roofing's messed up, just signs of, hey, this property, nobody's living in this property. This property is in the gutter. Properties like those. So you're just going to go out and find them. Now, the reason why you are actually doing this is because your list, once you compile a list of these properties, say 500 properties you see in your neighborhood, your backyard, who have these qualities, who are kind of jacked up, once you compile them in your list, that list nobody's going to have, right? It's just going to be you, right? So that's one of the benefits for driving for dollars is, the competition is way lower, to the point where once you reach out to these home sellers, it's just you that's going to be reaching out to them, because a lot of people aren't going to be doing this. So driving for dollars, that's the number one freeway I recommend if you're just getting started. Another freeway I recommend, a little bit more resistance, but it's still really, really nice and solid way to get motivated sellers, is government lists. Right now, what are government lists? Government lists are just properties of, say, for example, a water shutoff list, fire damage list, a pre-foreclosure list. These are the lists that have issues with a property that the government reports in their own database. Most of them are free, public. The only way that you could get these lists is, walking into the courthouse and asking for them. Say, for example, the water shutoff list, you would actually contact your local water company. Hey, can I get a recent list of the 30 days, the properties that have been on that water shutoff list? Most of the time, you're gonna get them. You just have to be polite. Show that you're actually a human being. You don't want to be rude when you're asking for these lists, because you could face resistance. Another one would be the fire damage. Go to your local fire department, literally ask for this list from the receptionist. Hey, is there any way I can get a list of the most recent fire damaged home in the past 30 days, right? Most likely, if you're nice about it, they're gonna give it to you, no problem, right? Another one is the pre-foreclosure list. You can get this at the county courthouse. Same thing, right? Hey, can I get a list of the most recent pre-foreclosures, right? If you're nice about it, they're gonna give it to you, right? So government list, that's the second free way, right? Now, let's get into the paid ways, right? Now, this is where the bread and butter is at for most wholesalers, and where you can actually scale, right? So I'm going to be going over a software called PropStream. If you haven't heard of it, it's just a software where you can get lists of, you can make your own a list of literally anything, right? So I'm going to be hopping onto my computer, and we're going to just do a deep dive in PropStream and show you some of the lists you can target on there. All right, now we're in the PropStream software. I believe this is 97 a month. I could be wrong, 99, something like that. But yeah, this is the software basically where you can customize the list you want to pull, right? And specifically, I'm going to be showing you a list that is called the high equity vacant list, my favorite list I like to pull. Now, whatever market you're in, you're going to be putting it into the search bar. So we're just going to be testing the Baltimore, Maryland market, my market, for example. Now, once you have your market or whatever, if you're sub-targeting, for example, a zip code, you put that zip code in. But for this example sake, we're just going to do the entire Baltimore, Maryland. All right. So as you can see, it says 25,000. Sorry, 1, 10, 100,000, 10,000, 100,000. I was bad in math. Sorry, 254,000 unique properties, right? Now, what we're going to do is filter this down to the most motivated people that would be likely to sell, right? And that list is going to be called like I said earlier, the vacant high equity list, right? So I'm going to go to filters over here. We want to go to property details. I like to put residential, single family home. Go down. MLS, we don't want it on the MLS, right? We want off-market properties. Go down. Now for vacant, we want to put yes. And years of ownership, the minimum we want is 5, but I like to go 10 because some properties that pull up are going to be just fix and flippers that have owned the property for a pretty long time and that aren't interested in selling. So you want to put 5 to 10. We're just going to do 5 for this example. Minimum years of ownership 5. Owner type individual, so we don't want to be contacting any businesses, any corporate businesses. We just want to be contacting the seller individually. And go down. Now, this is where we want to change the equity, right? So the minimum equity we want a seller to have in their property is going to be 40%, right? Because at the end of the day, the higher the equity they have in the property, the more willing, the easier the sale is going to be, right? Ideally, we want no money owed on the property, but most of the time there's going to be some money owed, which is not a problem at all. So yeah, for the estimated equity, we want a minimum 40%, right? You can always go higher if you're in a bigger market. If you find that you just ran through your list pretty quickly, you can just put 40%. Now scroll down. And yeah, so just a quick recap. So property details, residential, single family, when we be targeting single family, we don't want it on market. We want it vacant, right? 5 years of ownership, individual, 40% equity, right? Now we want to save this search, save it, let's just call it be more. I already have it here. Be more high equity vacant. You just put 40%. Now what this will do is it'll save the search. So every time you just put a new market in here, it'll put these, it'll save your preset, right? Now save and views 261 properties, right? So these are the properties that we're going to be contacting that we're going to be trying to get at a discount, right? So initially what we want to do with these properties, this exact list, is import it. And we want to use a skip tracing service, whether that be the service skip tracing service in PropStream or an alternative one like batchskiptracing.com. All in all, it doesn't matter which one you use. The most important thing is we need the phone numbers of all these properties, right? Whether we're going to be hand dialing them or just putting it into a dialer, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is we want to contact these people as soon as possible and see if they're interested in selling their home. That was a brief overview of some paid and free ways you can find motivated sellers. If you had any questions, leave them down below in the comments. I'll be sure to get back to you ASAP. You can also just DM me any of your questions on Instagram. I'll be sure to leave that down in the description down below.